Hello everyone, this is Sudipta from Technical Potpourri, and today I'll be talking about all the new flow enhancements that are coming along with Spring 23 release. The first feature that I'll be talking today, how you can see the element descriptions on the flow canvas. So let's check it out. So here I am in a flow. In this flow, I'm going to fetch all the accounts and then I'm looping through individual accounts and then updating the record. Now, if I hover on this icon, it is telling me the description of each of the element. For example, for this one, I'm fetching all the accounts. Here, I'm looping through all the accounts. Here, I'm updating the account. So this way you can easily find out what each elements are doing. Previously, you need to double click that and find out what is actually doing. But now if you put the proper comment, you don't need to double click the element. You can get the description right from the flow canvas. So I think this is a very useful feature. So let's talk about the next feature. The next one, how can you select a value from a list of choices with the new choice lookup component? This component is currently in a beta mode. So let's go to the flow builder. So here I am in the flow canvas. Let's start by putting a screen, and the screen is going to display all accounts. On the left side, you'll find this option called choice lookup beta. So drag it in your flow canvas, give it a name. In the choice, you can create a choice resource, and here for me it makes sense to choose the record choice set and give it a name as all accounts. It's coming from the account and all the accounts, account name, text and name. You can store more account values. For example, when you choose an account, what are the rest of the information from that account you want to store? For example, if you want to store what is the account revenue, you can store that value in a variable. Definitely you need to create a variable and then put that variable name here. But for me, let's not do that, and done. And then done. Let's save this. Spring 23 flow enhancements, and let's do the debug. And here, as you can see, it's showing me all the accounts. The beauty of this is that if you have a long list of the account, you don't need to go up and down to find your account. You can start typing. For example, it will give you the account name. And the search is quite intelligent. You don't need to type something which is at the beginning of the account name. For example, I can put racers and I can put this, and it will give me the option of Grand Hotel and this two account name where the character is in the middle or somewhere, right? It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the name. So let's move to the next feature. The next feature is how you can add lookup fields to your flow screen. So here I am in my flow canvas. So let's start by creating a screen element. And here, if I go to the field, this is a very cool feature where you can create dynamic form. Previously, you need to drag and drop each of the type of the input, for example, address, date, and all this thing. But currently, you don't need to do that. What you can do, you can create a record variable, for example, account, right? So let's put a single account and its type account. And immediately all the account fields came here. So I can literally drag and drop the field from the account and it'll populate this form. But what's new in Spring 23 is that previously, if there is any lookup field on the account, you are not able to drag that to the dynamic form. But with this new feature, you can do that. For example, parent account ID, it's a lookup field, right? I can drag and drop that and it will give me this option. Or another example is like this one, DNB company ID. I can drag all this lookup field to this dynamic form, and then save that. And let's debug and see how it looks like. Let's say this account and run. You can see this is a lookup field. This is also a lookup field. And the beauty here is that based on your permission, you have the option of creating a new record right from this flow window. How you can select multiple records from a table in a flow screen. So here I am in my flow canvas again. So let's start by fetching all the accounts. Get records and fetch all accounts. Let's fetch all the accounts and let's create a screen element. Display all accounts, and here you should find an element called data table. Drag that here. In the data table, give it a name, accounts. In the source value, give this list of accounts. When you give this option under this configure rows, you have three options. Either you can select multiple rows, either you can allow them to select only a single row, or let the entire data table be a read-only data table, that is a view only. You can configure the columns. For example, in the column, you want first the account name. Put that, and you see the beauty here. The moment you add the column, you can preview that here. Let's add few more column. For example, let's do address, billing address, and another address which is shipping address. So I want a data table where I'll display all the accounts, where account name, billing address, and shipping address will be displayed. So let's done that. Let's save and do the debug. These are all the accounts. It's currently not allowing me to select any of the accounts because here in the data table, in the configure rows, I have selected view only. If I select multiple, done and save and debug, it will allow me to select multiple rows. And another thing which I was really impressed is like in the data table, if you have an address, clicking on that, it will open the address in a Google Map in a new tab. So that's really cool. For example, this one, it will open the address in a Google Map in a new tab. With that, let's move to the next enhancement. The next enhancement is all about building screens with reactive components. And this is currently in a beta stage. So here I am in the flow canvas. Let's start by creating a screen element first. Let's give it a name. And here, what I am trying to do, I'm trying to create two components which are reactive. By saying reactive, it means if I do something on the one component, the second component will immediately react based on the changes to the first component. Before this release, if you need to do that, you need to move from one screen to another screen to make the changes, or you need to literally create your own Lightning Web component. But with this new feature, you can be on the same flow screen, but still all your components can react to each other. For example, let's create a text and here put email and email address. Let's put the label as enter email address, and the next element I want to put is that email. Here I want whatever email address you will put here, it will immediately show here. So on the value section, want the this one, email address, and let's put this as read only true, so that you know the second one nobody will be able to edit that. And let's click on done, but let's review what I've done. Here is one email address, one text box, and here is a display email. So my intention is the moment I put the email address here, it will immediately show here. That way these two components are reactive. This component is reacting based on the changes that is happening on this top component. So let's do the debug. And let's say I'm putting my email address. It's immediately coming here. So let's put test.test.com. It's coming here. So that way this component is reacting based on the changes that is happening on the first component, and I don't need to move from screen to screen. It's all happening within single screen. So this is a really cool feature, but there is some limitation. Currently it's in a beta stage and not all the components are supporting this reactive nature. So you need to go through the Salesforce official documentation to find out which component supports reactive behavior. With that, let's move to the next one, and this is one of my favorite one, which is like how to bring external services data into Flow Builder without writing any code, just by making HTTP callout. Again, this feature is also in a beta stage, but this feature is very powerful feature. So here I am in my flow canvas and I've already built the flow, and the flow is currently doing HTTP callout. So let's go ahead and run the flow. So what the flow is doing, inside the flow, it's asking me a name. I can put any name, for example, Sam. The moment I click on next, the flow will do a HTTP callout and it will give me the probable age of Sam is 54 and there are this many people in the world with the name of Sam. I can run the flow again and let's say put a new name, for example, Tom. This time it will call another API call and it's telling the probable age of Tom is 65 and there are this many people in the world with the name of Tom. And if you see on the right side, this is the call that is happening and this is output. Now I have a dedicated video how you can configure this in your flow. I'll put the link in the description as well as top right corner of your screen. So please go ahead and check this out because this is a very powerful feature, even though it's in a beta stage, but it's a very powerful feature. With that, let's go to the next one. This is also a very helpful feature where you can get a streamlined flow elements menu. So here I am in my flow canvas again, and when I click on this plus sign to add elements to the flow, here I can click on this I symbol next to the element to find out what this element is doing. At the same time, I can search here, for example, fetch, it will fetch something, or I can get, it will give me get records. I can put update, it will tell update records, and here if I click on it will tell me what this element is actually supposed to do. For example, if I click on I, it is telling me it's updating the Salesforce record using values from the flow. So this is a very streamlined way how you can find elements within your flow canvas. So that's all I have today. I hope this video is helpful. Please hit the like icon and share, and also please subscribe to my channel to get update about all my upcoming videos. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.